Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I am your host. I'm out of breath already. Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep, and we are here Friday night. We are coming off some exciting baseball the last couple of days. Paul Skeens debut and follow up where he looked pretty sharp. Pretty crazy game today. Let's jump in. And my hotkeys are not working yet. Hopefully you can hear me well. Got a perfect game watch going on out there. Where is my settings? There we go. There's my custom layout. What's up, Dogman Chill? We are already in the draft. We need 7 more people. Hopefully we can round up some fools. I mean, I'm the fool, but because we talked about Elly last week, and of course, the night before the show today, we get a 4 stolen base game from Elly, which was pretty good for my daily stuff that day. I just ended up playing some cash because I missed most of the contests, but that was good for that. But yeah, we need 7 people. What's up, Chip? Welcome in. We have a perfect game watch in Tampa. Tyler Alexander. Okay. I've not been paying attention to baseball tonight. Ooh. Tyler Alexander. Not the name I expected on a perfect game watch. How many? We wait here. Of course, it's the Apple TV game because you know they got the good games. Former pesky Tiger, Tyler Alexander. Let's see, where is he at? So he is 6 innings in, and he's got 70 pitches. So, I mean, it's only 4-0. We'll see what happens. That's pretty exciting. Of course, somehow Hunter Brown has turned it around tonight against my Brewers. So that's fun. Billy Peralta's given up a couple runs. I guess he's 53 pitches through 3 innings. That's not terrible, not great. Yeah, Skeens. Who knows where he ends up getting drafted? Let's see. We need 5 people. Let's get going. Maybe we can pull in some guys, some gals, any type of pal. But yeah, that Elly game I was watching last night because I had a lot of Dodgers and Cincinnati on that small slate. Yeah, it's like I saw somebody tweeting today about the Steph Curry syndrome of Paul Skeens. Like, I don't think there's anybody that said Skeens wasn't going to be good or didn't have this potential. Like, but so people are like, oh yeah, he had the doubters, but I guess he had some doubters in that his fastball shape is not desirable, and that and then it doesn't matter just because how fast he throws it. So who cares? Yeah, and I guess this is the other, coming off of all the pitching injuries and the velo discussions and injury discussions, that maybe that's the other reason. And for me, it was just more about playing time. That's why I wasn't taking him in the 20th round, and that might be a mistake. Definitely, we were talking last week about Elly. the decision-making process for me and, the decision-making process for Skeens. Definitely two players to go through, at some point in the off season and, think through our decision-making processes, whether you were on them or not. Immediate season throwing that fast, that he's probably fine for this season. But Dynasty, where is he? But the way pitchers get injured, like if you can get a couple of good seasons out of something, like there's no workhorses anymore. So like how's fading him any different than anybody else if you can get a few seasons of awesome? Yeah, let's see where he's at today. He's at 78. I don't know if he'll rise too far for the potential. I guess to me, I'm still worried about what the Pirate, when it comes time to when we really need him in the playoffs. Is he going to be around? Is he going to be on the team? Let's see if we can get a tweet out here. Spamming tweets here, but see if we can get some more people to join. Yeah, this is a good one. Al, was berating me last week and my unbelief in Elly and his potential for improvement. Yeah, definitely free money, pending injury. But well, the interesting thing is that DeGrom didn't come out throwing that fast to begin with. So definitely have potential for DeGrom-like seasons in that arm, but DeGrom kind of worked up to it. He did go through a period of a lot of injuries and stuff also, and then sort of got it together and had those dominant seasons, and now we see where he's at. But it is interesting to compare those two. Definitely we think about it because of the velo, and then we also have think about Strider and stuff too in that conversation. Well, hopefully we can pull a few more people in here. Let's see my Enterprise rent a car. Let's head over to Fangraphs and see what's happening over here today. Not over here today. I don't know what I mean by that, but yeah, my dinger advancement is still. There we go. Dark theme. New computer stuff. I guess I can turn on dark theme. My advancements are still pretty down in the gutter. My bullpen is still doing well. I have like a 30% advance rate there right now. But definitely made a few mistakes, or just bad results, whatever you want to say. No, I wanted to check out here. The guy I've been thinking a lot about lately, Jordan. A little bit bigger. Still need 4 more. He hasn't really fallen. ADP of 11. Today he did get the rest day. He's been bad in May. And getting a day off today. But the thing is, let's go over to Fangraphs here. Right, so the things we want to look at a player like this, whether we think we're in for a problem long term, like is it bad to take him? Things that I want to look for are, first of all, we want to take a look at our luck stats, right? So our Babbitt, definitely 269 is way below the 320, 330 average that MLB has. I don't know what it is this season, but it's usually about 310, 330 for the league average. And we see this 269, and we know that, he is getting unlucky in his results in some fashion. So then, we want to look at what the concerning thing here that we see is the isolated power down, just like terrible, not good. He still got 8 home runs with it. And obviously WRC plus is not really anywhere near what is projected either. So there's definitely some concern there. We know that there's some luck things going wrong. So then the other thing with that isolated power down, the other thing we want to look at, we want to go down here to the StatCast data, and then we take a look at this EV and this max EV. So the thing that I always look for, I'm not looking for these numbers to compared to the league as much as Babbitt. What I want to look at here is that there's not a concern in previous numbers. So, his max EV, he's almost, he's basically at his max EV. He's reached that. So doesn't seem like there's a risk to that. And then also his average EV, exit velocity, it's down a little bit from some of these maximums, but not like anything crazy off of his career. Oh, my dog is greeting my wife. So with the low ISO, and we see the max EV down more or the regular EV down more, it would definitely be a cause for major concern for me. But this kind of says to me that things are good. His launch angle is a little bit higher than his career stuff, but there's nothing too concerning here. If we saw this down, is he injured? That we start asking those questions, and then we looks like we filled our lobby, but just to finish that conversation up, then we look at yes, we are a live expert. Let me just finish this quick conversation up about Jordan. Then we start looking at the X stats. His expected batting average is higher than his average. His expected slugging, his expected WOBA. Obviously, this expected WOBA being at 376 and being pretty down from his even reduced his last couple of seasons. This is concerning that it's not up there, but there's a lot of signs here that everything is fine. And the other important thing that I like to look at is to make sure that he's not just striking out a ton more for some reason. And then you can dig further down into these numbers, but he's not really walking as much, which could be a problem. But the K rate hasn't skyrocketed. In fact, it's down a little bit. So there's not a ton of concern there. Yet we are in the draft. So we get the 11th pick. I don't think I've picked from here too much. I have been drafting either at the start or the middle. So I think this is about my 5th draft. I haven't been jamming a ton of them in. Acuna down to pick 3. Judge over him, who's on a tear currently. Ohtani, we kind of talked about it the first draft. It was only a matter of time before he hit that number 1 spot. So that is not unexpected. Mookie goes. Who do we got in here? We got T-Bear. Welcome, T-Bear. Hopefully you are having a good season. Haven't chatted with you much lately. We got Ben, CLT Go Blues in here. Chips in here. We got an E-Beam 4. I don't think you should be too worried about an auto Acuna, I guess. But and DeMelch is in here. Experts in here. We got a friends and family draft here. Eric for the bit, or maybe not the bit. What is Elly's ADP now? He is going at 11. So Eric has, if you're a Spike Week aficionado, will know that Eric was definitely buying the Elly thing. Oh, well, we talked about it. We're not concerned. We're just going to take the Yordan Alvarez and hope he puts it together. Now, this is interesting here where we want to go. I have not made this decision too much. If we want another outfielder, if we're buying Julio bounce back, also, are we buying 2 bounce backs? Let's see here. Glass now goes to Melch. All right, we're gonna go with a Matt Olson here. I think I'm still feeling pretty confident in him. I have not done a super deep dive on him, but definitely wanted to do that similar. I mean, I say deep dive, but I mostly just talk through how deep I really go. Mike has been out here pounding himself. Then we get our star method going. I don't know how deep we're going on this Atlanta team. But we want Houston. It would be interesting there to think about a Yordan Altuve start. Definitely something to think about. Pushing that there at the end. All right, we're not getting any chasers on Ozuna yet. That's interesting. Harper goes there. Eric goes with a Elly Corbin Carroll combo. Gypsy on the clock. Oh, I guess I missed the Gunner too. Yeah, Gunner, Tyler Glasnow for DeMelch. Interesting start. He's definitely not never pitcher on this draft. Gypsy goes with his hometown Kyle Schwarber. Oh, you guys, somebody should have spoke up sooner. I guess I didn't stop the music. Apologies. Hopefully that didn't drive anybody crazy. Probably ruin the playback on my this vid. People will be like, is this guy going to listen to the same 30-second song over and over? Apologies, everybody. I'm hoping that you can hear me better tonight than last time. I think I was going off the wrong microphone. But all right. Next time you're coming through, I'll get you a case of New Glarus. Tonight we are drinking a different Milwaukee, the MKE Brewing Company, which is this is called OG. It's kind of got this kaiju looking character on it. And it is a tea infused wit beer. So you have the kind of sweet fruitiness of the, a nice strong wit beer. And then there's a local tea company that it kind of gives it the tea gets added to it. It gives it kind of like a spicy herbal flavor too. So it's definitely a pretty unique beer that I have not had a lot of similar flavors. So I do enjoy it. I have been to Denver. My aunt and uncle live out there. Went there a couple years ago with my family for a nice summer vacation. All right, we are on the clock. Let's see what we got lined up here. Don't think I'm in for a pitcher right now. Maybe we do go pitcher here and have a little fun. Yeah, let's take our guy Luis Castillo here. The other option is taking a couple of infielders here. I don't know. I'm not super in love with Spencer Steer at this price. Maybe I'm blinded as to what he's actually doing this year. All right, interesting decisions to make here. There's a ton of infielders. We do have Alex Bregman here, who sort of woke up, but I think I just want to take a home run potential in Pete Alonso here over the stack partner, and I think the Mets are. We're probably not going to get either the Lindor or Nimmo, but I think JD Martinez and Starling Marte is sort of a nice back, end fifth outfielder. Those guys, I think, I'm not sure about this price on JD. I haven't really, I guess that's another guy to put on the list to dig into, see what he's doing this year. Like, is Father Time catching up to him? Obviously, he missed a big part. He might still be ramping up, but definitely want to check in on that. We did have the news today. The Dodgers have sent down James Outman, which maybe that's for the best right now. He's definitely looked super lost. End up watching, some late night Dodgers games, and he's looked bad. So maybe a reset will be good for him. Jason Hayward's back, whatever. Who knows about his ability to hold up. And also Max Muncy on the IL. But the interesting one is Miguel Vargas, who longtime supporters of the show know I was I was enamored with him last year as that 20th round Dodgers piece. And then he went and got his thumb injured, and then in spring training, and never looked right. He has been doing excellent in AAA this year, so it'd be interesting to see where he ends up fitting in to that roster. He definitely seemed more like trade bait this season, but Dodgers have had that end of the lineup that's been really struggling to put anything together. So I think they're a little bit desperate to find an answer. Obviously, they're still winning, fine, but they're not a team to stand on their hands and sit on their hands and hope things turn out. Speaking of loss to the plate and Dodgers, Chris Taylor, man, he's on an epic downswing. It is interesting. He's been like the Mr. Reliable fill in for them all over the field. So it is interesting to see what they end up doing with him. I don't think he's long for that team if he doesn't break out, especially when Muncy's back. But the positionality is still interesting, what they end up doing, at second base and stuff. I guess they have Lux there, but he's not been great either. All right, so we got a couple. T-Bear's taking a couple of pitchers. Definitely hanging on by a thread. I don't have much of him. Definitely have enough James Outman to be disappointed in that outcome. I do feel a little bit kind of like kicking myself on that. I think I was still that really hot streak that he had at the beginning of last season, like for Outman, I think was still clouding my judgment. And then he was good in spring again this year. And then just being on the Dodgers, but it is what it is. Jordan is not getting an outfielder yet. Bregman hangs around for us, so I think we just snap up Bregman here. And he's shown signs of life also. So we are getting a little infielder heavy here. So Garrett Cole is interesting here falling. Goldschmidt goes. So I've done a lot here of taking Luis Robert. So we're gonna try not to get ourselves into a White Sox stack in this draft. I've been grabbing him a ton here, and then filling in, definitely Tommy Pham at some point. Hopefully, throw some discussion today over in the Badge Bros Discord baseball thread about, is Tommy Pham going to stick with the team? Is he going to be a trade piece? I guess you could say that even about Eloy too, but this price on Robert is really hard for me to pass up. Eloy's 170. Tommy Pham is still 200. I've just been doing Robert plus Eloy, Robert plus Pham, maybe a couple of Andrew Vaughn, although I did go and look at that after the fact, and not looking too great in terms of where he's at in his stats and stuff. So maybe a mistake, but I know the team's bad. I understand that. But it's hard to pass up the value right now for me. So, but we're going to try to not do that this time. We get Paul Skeens here at 68. G for Gumby is in on the Skeens train. Certainly can't blame him. He looked great. It was nice having that. That was a nice game to have in the afternoon today, working from home. Sometimes those, end up watching those Cubs games in the afternoon on those days. Chris Sale up to 71. T-Bear going on the offensive on pitchers here. Kelly starts their first pitcher with Aaron Nola. Chipsy is fading pitchers as always. Devonatelli. We'll go with that. Devonatelli is still pitcherless, and those are the two remaining. This is definitely the bulk. These guys that were going a few rounds before in regular season are now in this 5, 6, 7 round, as everyone has fallen off of the pitcher train or got on to the never pitcher train. It's interesting. These Seattle guys, George Kirby, they've sort of been trading off bad starts. They've all shown a lot of promise at certain points so far. Still, the injury stuff lingering, but it is interesting to watch those guys. I think Bryce Miller got blown up recently. Last night, I think that was. George Kirby's come back. Logan Gilbert's had a bad game, but it's interesting. Those guys are having like some really good games and some blow up games. Definitely that Seattle home field has been very nice. Royce Lewis is probably on his way back for this contest. Is not a bad pick there. Tyler O'Neill, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't shot up more than he has. Just with how hot he had been at certain points. Eric's going for the all young squad. I guess Santander doesn't really fit that, but or Teoscar. So he's got a little depth there. The Elly, Corbin, CJ Abrams, Westberg. I did think about bumping CJ Abrams up at some point into this Luis Castillo pick, but all right, we're on the clock. Webb, Suarez. All right, here, this is a pretty easy, say a Suzuki. I guess he didn't play today, but concerns, obvious concerns of his ability to stay healthy and on the field, but Dansby Swanson is back live batting practice. That's good to hear. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, this Cub offense has been something we were buying in on in the regular season, but it hasn't been the guys I was buying in on. It has not been the Hap. Hap has not looked good yet. So definitely a good idea on the overall team idea. Maybe not the best on the selections. But, since we're here, we're starting this little Cub stack. Let's do it. Interesting. Yeah, he's got only 2 home runs, 1 stolen base. He hasn't really lost playing time, but definitely not the counting stats that we were planning for when we were taking him. But we're going to do it here. Hopefully get another infielder, a Nico Horner or Dansby Swanson maybe will hang out, but we'll see. I think Dansby definitely, that was the other one. Hap and Dansby were the core of my Cubs selections, and I maybe was building in a little previous seasons too much onto those guys, but that offense has shown that they can score runs, and as we get into these summer days at Wrigley, yeah, Bellinger, he goes a lot earlier. I guess around earlier than Seiya and Hap, but he's been decent. Chip Skylark takes his first pitcher. Jared Jones. We have a Jared Jones sighting. Definitely looked good again yesterday. Pretty good against the Cubs. He pitched deep into that game. So that is nice there. I still have a hard time taking him over Framber and Blake Snell and stuff. But that's just my bias probably. The perfect game bid is over, unfortunately, for Tyler Anderson. He will not be. Interesting to see T-Bear take Castellanos there. Definitely doesn't seem like a T-Bear kind of guy. Too streaky. All right, what do we got so far? We got a 2-3-3. Definitely spent a decent amount here on these first two pitchers. So I don't know that we'll be hitting pitcher anytime soon. We'll see, maybe. So, I'm always tempted by Grayson. He is my guy. Return this weekend not ruled out. So yeah. I talked a lot about I talked some about in the regular draft season how I liked him because of his build, and he seemed like the workhorse type of guy. So obviously the injury is frustrating in that decision making and that touting, but I think I'm still right generally in that idea. Joe Ryan was a guy that I was scared of in draft season with the flaws, but he has been pretty good. He's been holding his own again this year. What do we got coming up here? It is interesting. This is a smart room, so to speak. Profar definitely fell past ADP. Not really too many people buying into that. All right, we're gonna take Vinny here, Vinny P, and see which. I mean, I knew. Okay, Melch, you go for two pitchers. Fried and Lugo. This is tough. I'm just not a Nico Horner for best ball kind of guy. Obviously, he scored more points up to this point in the season, and Dansby Swanson hasn't looked great. But for like week to week upside, it's hard for me to take Nico Horner over Dansby. So maybe that's a mistake I'm going to continue make that I made, in draft season. But we got this tight Cub stack here. Feel pretty good about that. We got the mini Houston stack. The outfield is definitely. I mean, other than pitcher, infield and outfield is still tough right now. I just like. There's so many guys that are underperforming. Soler is back. Definitely a lot of concern. Yeah, Nico isn't leading off every day. Talkman is leading off against righties occasionally, and concerns there for Nico, but he's just not a home run. He gets some stolen bases. Obviously, Dansby hasn't been hitting him either, so like I said, maybe it's a dumb decision, but it's hard for me to take that profile of that general profile of a hitter in best ball when I'm making a decision between two guys on the same team like that. But that's just where my brain's at. Brian De La Cruz, that might be one of the most surprising guys for me. If we were going through my thoughts on maybe Joe Adell is actually more surprising, but we're going through the late round guys that we thought would be taking at 100 in this contest. I would not put Brian De La Cruz on that list. Obviously, he's earned it. He is, the boring De La Cruz, but he's put together home runs and RBIs and doubles, so he has accumulated well, but not much to my surprise, especially with that offense just not really doing anything of note. Interesting that he is scoring well in this contest. Joe Adell, the other one, he seems to have finally, cross your fingers for the Joe Adell truthers out there, that seems to have finally broken through. Maybe 7 home runs, 7 stolen bases, seems real. And there's plenty of playing time to go around for the Angels. All right. Go Blue takes our JD Martinez, who maybe we thought we could put with Pete. Jose Barrios still getting disrespected at 124. I don't know. He's obviously the strikeouts are not there. Yeah, Jazz and Cruz, only Marlins hitters do anything. Mr. Berger has been a pretty big disappointment. I know he was very popular in the 20th round and then moved up as draft season went on. Probably a lot of Jazz Berger stacks out there that are underperforming thanks to the Berger part of it. But we're talking about Barrios, who has been really quite, he's been the quality start machine this year. And all right. This is getting tough at outfield. Expert takes Soler. I was eyeballing him there. Jung-Hoo Lee, a guy who I was really buying in on in regular draft season, out for the rest of the season. So that's pretty disappointing for even worse for my dinger teams. Hopefully Soler can boost those guys back up. This is tough. I think we're taking a pitcher here. We're taking Bryce Miller. I know I was talking about early spend at pitcher, but Yoshida. Melch takes Yoshida, who's really a really tough sell for me. He was losing playing time. Was that due to injury? It's pretty tough making a decision on Yoshida. I've been mostly out, but I could be wrong there. All right, we're chasing strikeouts here. If we're going to be spending on pitcher here, we're going to chase the strikeouts of Jack Flaherty. Steele coming back from injury has not looked good. He definitely could put something together and be a guy you need later. Eflin, another guy I was in quite a bit on, has not looked great. He's been fine with no strikeouts. Definitely hard to pay again for that price. I feel like I've been burned on that. But it's tough. I feel like we're behind on outfield. But I didn't love taking any of these guys. Varsho has been, the highest performer in this group. I guess Mullins is 6 home runs, 6 stolen bases. But so yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have taken Varsho as one of those guys. But that's where we're at. Because now we are at 4 pitchers, 5 infielders, and 3 outfielders. We got a little Seattle pitching stack. Cole, Flaherty. Yeah. I need to probably push pitching here. I know there's some names here in this next little tier. Bobby Miller's going to be back soon enough. Mitch Keller has been having some good starts, good enough for best ball. Taj Bradley's back. Rodon is out there throwing kind of fine. So there's a lot of pitchers here. But maybe, so I'm going to have to force myself to hold off on them. It is interesting thinking about ADP in this draft. Like at this point, does ADP matter at all from this point forward with the players that we have left? Thinking about it from the perspective of the regular season, draft season, compared to where we're taking guys now, like there's just as much time between the start of this contest and there's a ton of time still that these decisions that we're making now could be just way off and just totally biased to what happened in the first month and a half of the season. So it's definitely interesting to think about ADP here and just how much people are still like, there's guys getting jumped. They're moving quick. But on the other hand, there's a lot of guys that are just sort of, staying flat and being drafted, at ADP or near ADP. I don't know, just something to think about. Chip gets a Bryce Turang at 148. Definitely a guy that I think, his stock has gone up on the Brewers. Just playing time. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, definitely a good call here by expert. It's an indicator of how long people are willing to wait on people, on players, and just liking a guy versus the ADP versus projection versus what they did in the first month and a half of the season. It's just like it's what makes this game fun. Like thinking through drafting is fun in that you get to make all these decisions. I don't know. Dog is dreaming under the desk here. All right. Definitely feeling a mistake here in the outfield category. Is Davis Schneider someone we're interested in? Is Cedric Mullins? I think we got to buy into the Cedric Mullins here. Don't love it. 130. Get him at 155. The note on him, obviously, as you saw there, losing playing time. Third game of the last 5 games. Massive slump. But maybe all the young guys have pushed him out, but I'm not totally out that he's totally burned or a total bum, but maybe a bad pick there. Maybe, putting a lot of old guys here. We got the Vinny P, bringing down the age average, but definitely putting a lot of guys together in the later stages of their careers. Unfortunately, DeMelch, he is out for the season. Jung Hoo Lee, so apologies on that pick there, my friend. All right, we're going to build a mini Baltimore stack with Ryan Mountcastle, who is still just slept on in best ball. He was like my favorite late Baltimore piece. He's just, let's see, he's got 6 home runs, 2 stolen bases, but 11 doubles, 18 RBI, some runs. Happy to take him here, yeah, I regret that Mullins pick, but feeling forced into outfield here, and maybe I should have taken another one there, but we'll see where we get to here. Have some interesting options that we can talk about a little bit later. Once we get there, definitely. I took Ryan Mountcastle there to go with Mullins. Maybe probably a mistake. Buying into the Baltimore stuff, or throw Jackson Holiday here into our queue. Definitely think he will be back again. I keep saying definitely. I did this last stream too, saying definitely. I wonder if I go back further in the archives. You guys maybe already have a sheep drinking game out there, but I keep catching myself saying that now that I've noticed it. So it probably goes way back on other streams. So anybody out there been to any live games this year that were interesting? Made it to my first game last week. Went and saw the Cardinals in town. Watched the Brewers blow up Sonny Gray, which was good. Definitely not what I expected when I planned to go to that evening game. But anybody been out there to watch any live games? Feels like the Brewers have not been home much at all. We got these vouchers last year from we went to a game at the end of the season that was like fan appreciation game, and they gave us these vouchers. Monday the vouchers were you could redeem a free ticket Monday through Thursday, no Cubs games, because those are the money makers. Everybody comes up from Chicago. That was not the Reese 3-run bomb game. There's a bunch of home runs against Sonny Gray, though. He did hit one, I believe, that night. Yeah, he hit one that night. These stupid vouchers, you can use them Monday through Thursday. And this is why they do it, because you can't use them ever. Monday through Thursday through May. So, and then this year they've been like barely home. Yeah, this is also like this is what I do. This is what I do when I want to go, or I do like a solo game. Go on the secondhand market on a weekday. Day games are even better. I usually can't make day games with my job, but like a evening game against a bad team. Against Diamondbacks, that was probably pretty fun. Obviously, not fun because you're probably a Rockies fan. That's exactly what I like to do. Is find the secondhand tickets that are cheap and good seats, and just go by myself and hang out. You end up spending $50 on beer and food anyway. And then I've got, there's a Target that's like a mile away from the stadium that I just park at and then walk. Because it's free. That's my cheap way of taking myself to a game. If you've never gone to a game by yourself, I definitely recommend it. I said definitely again. All right. What do we got going on here? All right. We are Garrett Crochet believers here. Obviously, we're talking about the Skeens issue in innings, but man, it's hard. I've seen a lot of good stuff out of Crochet this year, and he's going at just a ridiculous price for what he's shown. So I've been to Beer Stadium in Milwaukee. I'm going to assume that's a typo, but I'm not sure what you're referring to there. All right. Oh, man. All right, we're taking Michael Conforto. We're going to continue our old guy collection here. He is on the IL with a hamstring strain. I just felt like I needed an outfielder, and I kind of panicked and took Conforto there. Didn't love it. We'll see how long that keeps him out. Yeah, the thing is, I love to sit. Don't need to walk the concourse, but I definitely understand that. I stood for a while. I had my brats, stood there, and I went and sat in my seat because, especially if I'm paying for like a decent seat on a weekday night, I like to go sit in those. But yeah, solo games highly recommended. It's funny because so many people go to games just for the party. Like, man, if I lived closer, there's some interesting ticket packages they have now that you can just buy. That you can get so many seats per month, like a reoccurring fee. Like if I lived just a little bit closer, if it wasn't like a 15-20 minute drive, I'd do that more and just go for party games. That's not true. I don't know. Hard to just go for a part of a game. Oh, okay. So you've been to the beer stand. You've been to Miller Park. Yeah, definitely an awesome experience. Sure. Yeah. But the whole point of the solo game is that I'm trying to work the system into getting a nice seat for cheap. Gypsy's out here betting. Bunch of Cy Youngs the other day. Nola and Crochet were among them. Yeah. NL is probably Wheeler is the favorite. I'm guessing. I don't look at markets at all, but Wheeler's probably out there as the favorite, but it's got to be wide open with Strider out. Kind of disappointed in Freddie Peralta. I was hoping he was going to put it together this year, but he's not showing that super dominant side. He's giving up runs and stuff. Definitely had some bad outings. I'd hope, I was kind of touting him maybe as a potential Cy Young. Just fan bias there, probably. All right, we got 4 picks left. We're at a 5-6-5 build. This might be a 7 outfielder build with some of these scary potential playing time injury concerns. This might be a 6-7-7. Sixth in odds and DK, like that feels kind of expensive. Maybe I'm not seeing the outings of some of the other guys, but he's not looked like super sharp. He still looked really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with the results. Let's see where. Tonight he gave up 5 earned runs. He ended up giving up to the. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Speaking of tough, that is pretty crazy. Yep, we're going to continue our old man trend here. We're going to throw Tommy Pham into this group of old man outfielders. Yeah, Ranger Suarez has been ridiculous this year. Like, I don't know. Is it going to last? Another guy I should probably do a dive into, do some research on for this contest. He's going so early, too. Yeah, 70, pick 70. All right. Why don't we just get crazy here and just build all of our outfield into injury old man risk? We're going to throw Buxton. He's apparently going on rehab assignment back soon. I don't know. Let's just lean into this build. This is why this sort of decision making is probably why my dingers are suffering, is keep putting these guys together. All right. This is probably a 6-7-7 build, but we'll see what kind of decisions we make here. Let's get rid of these outfielders in our queue and see what our stack options look like. To go with Buxton, maybe there's a late Minnesota stack we put together here. Carlos Correa has not shown much of anything this year, so he is falling. T-Bear is going off the reservation with James Wood picked there. I guess he actually has an ADP of 227. That's exciting. That's fun. Is he going to see meaningful playing time this season? Maybe he's a playoff hammer. He comes up and he's really good. But Washington is not in a place to push him. So definitely an interesting decision to make for that team. I have him on my one draft champion on the NFBC team. So he's some deep target for me there. Tough click in this contest, but the ceiling potential is there. Like if you get something happens, some injuries happen, and he ends up getting called up by Washington soon, he's a riser between now and the start of this contest. But just based on the talk around the team and their motivation to get him up there this year. I don't know that that's a great pick. I get it though. It's exciting. It's fun. Ooh, Max Scherzer. News on him. Chip, he's having some nerve issues potentially in his arm now after the back stuff is fixed. So maybe he's okay. Maybe he comes back, but not a guy I'm in on or have been in on. Sort of been on the his body is shutting down side of things. It is fun to look at these last few rounds. Yeah, we were hoping we got a Brandon Pfaadt there, but he is gone. Devonatelli takes him. Luis Garcia. Yeah, you wanted Noelve Marte. Yeah, why not? That I mean, I can't blame you with that attitude. All right, we got our last couple of picks here. We're going to take one more pitcher for sure. It's hard to not take Correa here as our 7th infielder. I mean, maybe Julian's just a better pick. All right, we got Correa. Our decision making was not quick enough, so we get a little mini old man Minnesota stack. And then we're going to throw one more pitcher onto this team for a 6th pitcher. Take a quick look. What did Hunter Brown end up doing? 5 innings pitched, 5 Ks tonight against the Brewers, and 4 earned runs. So not great. Don't know that his spot is very guaranteed. All right, we get Brian Bayo there. I think I wanted John Gray. He's looked okay. Man. Oh, Joe Musgrove is eyeing a Sunday return. Maybe that was the right pick there, but yeah. That is a dart throw. Definitely concerned tonight. I kind of hoped Hunter Brown would shut out my Brewers because I have so much Hunter Brown bags, but he might be out of a rotation spot. Yep, good draft, everybody. Let's see. So we ended up with a 6-7-7. I haven't done that yet, but we got Castillo, Cole, Miller, Flaherty, Crochet, and Bayo. Olson, Alonso, Bregman, Pasquantino, Swanson, Mountcastle, Correa. This is definitely the old man. I hope these guys aren't too old team. Yordan Alvarez, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, Cedric Mullins, Michael Conforto, Tommy Pham, and last outfielder Byron Buxton, which just feels sad. I'll be honest. It's sad to see him in the last round, or that late. So much promise. We do get Joe Musgrove, Christopher Sanchez, John Means, Tristan McKenzie. All those guys, fine. As a last pick, hopefully they get a 2-start playoff week, sort of guys. And maybe Joe Musgrove figures something out. And some time on the IL helps him out. But we will find out in a month or so. Eddie Rosario, a very interesting little Washington stack. I think It's an interesting combination. The guy who's getting playing time now, who the guy you're hoping gets playing time later. And Reese Olson there at the end. I saw. So there we go. Another draft. This contest is, 5% full. We still have a few weeks before it starts, but we're just going to be out here. We're going to be drafting. I know I talked about Stacking Dingers episode coming out, but we did not get to that. But penciled in this week, Tuma should be jumping on with me at least. Hopefully we get some other guys in there. As always, everybody, thanks for showing up and drafting and hanging out, chatting. If you're ever interested in coming on the show and hanging out, drafting live, just hit up those DMs. Happy to talk and draft with any of you crazy fools that are interested in these mid-season baseball, well, any baseball contest. So yeah, thank you everyone for jumping in tonight, and have a good weekend.